Hi all. So if this is the first time you've watched my channel or you've been around a bit, even though you'll see I do open a lot of newer product, most of the time I open older stuff. Simply because if you look back, especially late 80s, early 90s, it was really the stuff that drove the hobby to what it is today. Welcome to Night Rips. So today I'm going to rip another old product. This product is actually 30 years old. This would be 6 packs of 1992 Upper Deck High Series. Now what's special about this one, this was the Johnny Bench Joe Morgan set where you could get one of the insert sets because the early 90s was Insert Mania, but you could get the insert set of the baseball heroes, plus there was the Ted Williams best hitters insert cards. And of course, there are other things that Upper Deck would do. You know, one of the things their little tagline here was every pack puts you into the game. One of the sets that I love opening is Top Stadium Club, which was kind of the same thing. Of course, it started in 1991. The Upper Deck actually started in 1989. That was actually the start of Upper Deck. So they kind of kicked off this special prints right from the beginning, and then everyone else started kind of imitating them. So let's go ahead and rip into this, see what we can find. We will probably find the Vernon Wells art, especially in the team cards. Be nice if we could actually find some of the short prints, and yes, there was short prints in here too, just like there are today. And if we are extremely lucky, and this would be a very, it would make my day, there's a chance of getting a Johnny Bench Joe Morgan autograph card. They are numbered to 2,500, but this was a very overproduced set, just like everything in the junk wax era. So the chances of getting it's probably not going to happen. So let's zoom in, and while I zoom in, I will also invite you to join the channel. Again, I do open up a lot of stuff. I do love looking at what we can find. A lot of Top Stadium Club coming, to include the new stuff. I have some other new products on its way. And of course, I do giveaways based on subscriber milestones. So make sure you check out the channel and see what we do. And of course, definitely check out a couple of days ago. I am in the middle of a giveaway. At least it will be through Thanksgiving of 2022, since I know people will watch this beyond 2022. But come check it out, and of course hit subscribe and notify. That's the way to become part of the community. So we got Denny Martinez. There's Rob Mirror. Okay, I butcher names all the time. That's another thing that I do. I just don't pronunciate as well as some people. Nice Dave Henderson. These are pretty cards. And it's interesting, they are 30 years old, yet they're still, there's no stick to them. You can't say that to some of the new products. And of course, pictures on the front and the back, they were one of the first ones to do that. To be not on non-card stock, one of the first ones to do that, and they actually had these little holograms on it. Those were supposedly to prevent you from counterfeiting them. Not that you would counterfeit something that is this overproduced, but I guess they thought that you might. Of course, there is cards in here that are worth something. There's nice Paul Molitor, Hall of Famer there. Bernie Williams. A lot of great ones here. Chris Gwynn. Of course, Chris Gwynn is brother to Tony Gwynn. Mariano Duncan. We got Butch Henry. Oh, nice Brett Boone, but this would be a Brett Boone Diamond debut. Of course, Diamond debut, and that's something I will show you. This was an 800 card set, but anything that was considered 700 and above was the high number set. Anything less than 700 was the low number. But unlike Series 2 or Update today for Tops, in this high number set, you could actually get all 800 cards. The only thing you wouldn't be able to get were the short prints. Nice Ruben Alomar. Oh, you can actually see the ball streaking in right at his knee. That's actually pretty cool. Can they get you into the game? Von Hayes. That was their tagline. Of course, the same thing is, like I said, can be said about Stadium Club. Now, one thing that you will notice as we open up these packs is, Stadium Club went edge to edge with photos. This one didn't. And that was the one thing that was a little different with Stadium Club. There's Ron Gant, as he's still a Brave. They still was, the white border. They still had their logos and whatnot. Stadium Club, not as much, but it's a totally different product. Chris George, star rookie. Steve Decker. The other thing I notice about this one, every once in a while, yes, you will see a photograph of, we got a nice one right after this. A lot of what you'll see is actually action shots. You will see some of the portraits, the standard tops, stand with a bat, stand with a glove, but most of them is like this. And one I had seen, you might have seen it too, was one of the great ones. And this is a real nice one. Actually, it's one I don't think I have ever seen. It is one of those stop motion Ken Griffey Jr. and it looks like, I'm trying to see how many. It looks like it's, I can't tell if it's 3 or 4 frame, but it's definitely him belting and running. Interesting. Very nice one. Of course, part of the giveaway that I'm currently doing is Ken Griffey Jr. Just not that one because, like I said, I don't think I have that one. Joe Perry. Trying to see if we find any that are standout. Looks like just a pose, and actually we do. But the Cianfrocco, Diamond debut. I probably pronounced that one wrong too. That's one of those ones I mentioned. This will be the Brent Saberhagen. They're with the Mets. This is post Royals. Actually, I think, yeah, he was right to the Royals. He actually, let's see, this is 92. I don't remember if he got traded early season or mid season. Sometimes I forget. Very serious Eddie Murray. Of course, he's been everywhere. Remember him more as an Oriole. I started watching baseball around 1980. Dave Winfield and Damon Berryhill. So yeah, some of these players, especially around this time, I was more in passing than I was an active watcher. Actually, 1992, I was actually doing my time in the service. We've got ourselves a Vernon Wells, and this is a nice Vernon Wells, and actually is another one I don't think I've seen. This would be the Crime Dog, Fred McGriff. Of course, remember him, he was a Brave, and he was a Devil Ray. That's actually where he ended his career because he actually is from Tampa. And of course, that would be, yes, I thought it was, because I've seen it before, and this one always confuses me. This is Nolan Ryan with some kid that honestly looks like a very young John Elway. Don't know who it is probably just a generic kid, or maybe it was a photo that he saw. But yeah, that is a pretty neat Vernon Wells. And if anybody knows if that was supposed to be Elway, put it in the comment section, because I honestly don't know. Nice Lonnie Smith. And Wade Boggs, who was Wade with? He was actually with the Red Sox. He did both Red Sox and Yankees. So makes both fan sets hate him. And of course, one of the rookies of today that, honestly, it's one of the cards everybody's chasing is Bobby Witt Jr. Well, we got his dad here. Of course, Bobby Witt was a pitcher. He wasn't a third baseman like his son. Russ Swan. And we got the best right-handed pitcher. This is those diamond skills. And of course, it should be high number. Yeah, it is high number, so it means this is the National League. The American League was the low number. This is Jose Rijo. And we got ourselves a diamond debut, and this was actually a pretty cool one. Pat Mahomes. And if that name sounds familiar for anybody that's newer in baseball, Pat Mahomes is actually the father of Patrick Mahomes II, quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. Actually, Patrick Mahomes, the reason he's getting called Patrick is so he doesn't get confused with his dad, who was a okay player. Not in the Hall, whereas I think his son may be. Of course, he's still got quite a ways to go. Always old-looking Jack Morris, Hall of Famer, been around for a while. And of course, we saw this one. And we got Andy Van Slyke. This would be best outfield arm. Cool things about Andy Van Slyke, you know, this will be, you'll also find Barry Bonds in this set. And there is, I think it's the Diamond Skills checklist that actually has Van Slyke and Bonds on it. There's Scudder. All right, this is our fourth pack. And I already pulled some cool ones, some ones I've not seen before. And that's always a great thing, even though I do pull a lot of this, because it is a fun pull, and it's honestly, it's real easy to find. That's the advantage of the junk wax era, was they made so much, so it's easy to find this type of stuff. There's Plimpton Prospect. And we did get a Baseball Heroes card, but it's absolutely not the Baseball Heroes card anybody wants. It's the one that simply talks about Baseball Heroes for this set. And it of course, interesting thing about Upper Deck, the insert set, it actually went across years and products. You know, it started in 1990, high number with Reggie Jackson. Then it went to Nolan Ryan with 91 low, Hank Aaron 91 high, Ted Williams 92 low, and then this one with 92 high. But it talks about the autographs and all the other stuff, but that's it. And of course, that's an insert card, even though it's not numbered. Mark Gallego, Reed. Nice Jimmy Key. Of course, another player that I watched whenever I was going up, George Brett. Actually, at one time, I worked in the Kansas City Royals spring training facility. So actually worked the food line. Roberto Kelly. Bob Walk. As I always say, not the name you want to have as pitcher. Best left-handed pitcher, of course, one of the ones I agree with, Tom Glavine, who's actually probably, well, I'm not saying probably, he is the second best lefty from the Braves. You know, obviously the first one being Warren Spahn. Now Max Fried's coming up. There's been a few others, but not very many. Pat Listak. This would be a diamond debut with the Brewers. Mariano Duncan. Calvin Jones, Mark Clark, diamond debut. Best infield arm, Sean Dunston, and Matt Stairs. A couple more packs. So we really only pulled one of the Baseball Heroes. I haven't pulled much of that at all. I think I've only pulled one of the cards of Joe Morgan, Johnny Bench. I did have some other of this product, but it was not, it turned out to be special edition, and it only had Ted Williams stuff in it. There's John Burkett. Is that Edgar? Yes, it is. Edgar Martinez. Thought it was. And you would think for the Seattle Mariners, you would actually have Ken Griffey Jr., but no, they put Edgar Martinez. Of course, he's definitely yet another one of the legends there in Seattle. Willie McGee, Jeff Ennis, Junior Felix, move on. Looks like we might be coming up to another, either a diamond debut or a a rookie. Most of this has been Diamond Debut, though, which is all high number stuff. Bill Swift. No, this is actually best infield arm. Same one we just pulled. Sean Dunston. But we got, who is that? Chad Curtis. Diamond Debut with the Angels. And we got another Chad Curtis. And another Tom Glavine. So you can definitely tell their collators was, I don't know, he must have been drunk or something. There's John Smiley. And you do find that. Matter of fact, two things I notice whenever I open this upper deck is that, number one, the cards are spinning. They're front and back, around, all that. So there's a lot of spinning. You can get yourself dizzy if you pay too much attention to it. But the second thing is, it is not uncommon to pull dupes in the same pack. I mean, it's one thing to pull dupe in the same box. You know, a lot of the products is like, oh, I wish it didn't happen. But in upper deck, it happens in the same pack. And of course, we know who that is. You can actually tell just by this sign back here, Go Ricky Go. That would be Mr. Ricky Henderson. Definitely the steals leader of, well, the Major League, and will be for life. There's just no question about it at all. They just don't play the game that way anymore. And people don't play as long. Mike Heath, Chuck Knobloch, Warren Newsom, and best outfield arm, another one we've seen before, Andy Van Slyke. Mark Clark, Mike Kelly. It's a problem you will. That's an intense Mike Kelly there. You will start seeing some of these dupes, even though it is an 800 card set. It amazes me how many dupes you'll see with an 800 card set, like Pat Listak and Jose Rijo and Dave Martinez. All right, well, it looks like we struck out again with those Johnny Bench, Joe Morgan cards, which is unfortunate. The other thing I've noticed that we've struck out with really big with this 1992 set, I haven't seen very many of the hologram stickers. They are possible. 90, 91, not sure about 89 since I can't get my hands on it, since 89 was one of those years. It is the rookie year of this man right here, Ken Griffey Jr., the kid. So it's hard to get your hands on. So I don't know if the holograms is very prevalent there. They are possible in this. I've just honestly never pulled very many. They're definitely not the one per pack like you'll find the other years. But quick rundown, we did get our share. Unfortunately, every one of these was unique. Ricky Henderson, Edgar Martinez, Nolan Ryan, and the crime dog, Fred McGriff. These are Vernon Wells art, and I do love the Vernon Wells art. He actually does other art in these. He does a Save Master. He does Nolan Ryan's 5,000. There was a neat, it's like Ricky Henderson, and I don't remember the day, but Ricky Henderson and Nolan Ryan. Ricky Henderson broke a record. Nolan Ryan got his 7th no-hitter on the same day. So he did a special art card for that. And of course, he's the one that does the art card that gets signed. You know, the last, which is actually a checklist of the Baseball Heroes card, and he's done it for every year. So I love the Vernon Wells art. But the great thing that I pulled from this one, and again, one I have not seen, and that's the thing about, I do open up a lot of upper deck. Yeah, I open it up in the 1 minute deals with the 1990. I open it up 91, 92. You don't find very many Ken Griffey Jr. cards. They just, I don't know if they were classified as short print or what, but you just don't find very many. So cool to pull one I haven't seen before. But that's it. Another 1992, another set of cards that's been in packs for the last 30 years. Got a little bit more, and we'll open them up in another video later. But I hope you enjoy looking at this old stuff. Again, I love opening up the old stuff. just to see where the hobby was, because where the hobby was is really where the hobby is going to go. But at the same time, I will be opening up new product, so definitely you want to become part of the community, hitting the subscribe button and hitting the notify bell. Also, I appreciate any feedback, anything you want to say about what I'm doing. Even though I do know, yes, half the time I pronounce the names wrong. That's just the way I am. If you can't tell, I do get tongue-tied every once in a while. Not that it's an excuse, it's me. But drop any feedback in the comment section below. But the big thing you could do to do the channel a favor, hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button. It helps drive the YouTube algorithm, helps drive these type of videos to viewers like you who like to look at some of this old baseball stuff. Appreciate taking time to watching this, and I'll look forward to doing this again here real soon. So until then, bye now.